वन्दे विश्वोत्कर्ष प्रचोदितम्.
Thank you, Jeslie. Thank you all for being here today. We have gathered here to attend the second webinar entitled Food Safety on the series Biotechnology, Present and Future Scenario, organized by the Department of Biotechnology and IQAC, Sree Sankara College, KALADY, under the SMART scheme.
Dear participants, please ensure your microphone is muted and video is turned off during the time of presentation.
Now, we're moving on to the welcome address, and I call upon Dr. Ranjisha Menon, Assistant Professor of Department of Biotechnology, to deliver the welcome address. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for taking the time to join us today. Respected Principal Dr. A. Suresh, Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. K. Ashok Kumar, IQAC Coordinator, Dr. Preeti Nair, dear faculty and students. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you to today's webinar of the series Biotechnology, Present and Future Scenario, jointly organized by the Department of Biotechnology and IQAC under the SMART scheme. Food products may encounter a number of health hazards during their journey through the supply chain from farm to factory to fork. Today's talk will definitely provide an awareness on the routines in the preparation, handling, and storage of food meant to prevent foodborne illness. This is definitely a proud moment for me that the chief guest of the day, Dr. K. Ashok Kumar, who will be the finest in the area to this session. He has done immense contributions in the field of food processing technology. Today, he will be delivering a talk on the topic food safety. On behalf of the management, principal, and staff of Sree Sankara College, I welcome Dr. K. Ashok Kumar, who is a prominent scientist at ICAR CIFT. Now, I welcome Dr. A. Suresh, our principal, who been a strong pillar in all the activities initiated by the department. Next, I welcome Dr. Preeti Nair, IQAC Coordinator, who is a constant supporter of us to this webinar. Last but not least, I welcome the faculty, students, and all the participants who are here to attend the talk. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Now it's time to start our technical session. After the presentation, you can clear your queries by using the chat box facility. Participants, kindly make sure that your audio is muted and video is turned off.
Our speaker for today is Dr. K. Ashok Kumar. I invite Srimati Sujay Lakshmi KV, Head of Department of Biotechnology, to introduce and invite the resource person. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Madhaki. Dr. K. Ashok Kumar is a renowned person who has made significant contribution in fish processing technology and marine science. He had his graduation in zoology from Kerala University, post-graduation in industrial fisheries, and PhD in marine science from Cochin University of Science and Technology. Major areas of his research include quality assurance in fish and fishery products, HACCP and food safety, marine biotoxins, mass spectrometry, antibiotics, and food safety hazards. Dr. K. Ashok Kumar started his career as a production manager in fisheries wing of Voltas International Limited. Later, he joined as a scientist in Central Institute of Fisheries Technology in 1992. Currently, he is the principal scientist and head of Fish Processing Division of SWIFT. He is a member of panel of experts for drafting ISO standards. He is also a member of American Chemical Society and Society of Mass Spectrometry USA. He has received the HACCP Merit Certificate of Royal Institute of Public Health and Hygiene, United Kingdom, and TCT Award in Fish Processing Technology from Department for International Development, Government of United Kingdom. He has nearly 75 publications in high-impact journals. Today, Dr. Ashok Kumar is with us to deliver a talk on food safety. On behalf of Biotechnology Department, IQAC, and management of Sree Sankara College, with great pleasure, I take this opportunity to invite Dr. K. Ashok Kumar to this session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much for your kind words. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Can I start the presentation?
Oh, yes, sir. Please start.
Can you see the slide, please?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes, sir.
It's clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good morning, my dear friends. At the offset, let me take this opportunity to thank the organizers for giving me a chance to interact with you and to share with you my experiences on food safety issue, especially with regard to fish and fishery products.
Yes, sir.
Hello, is it clear?
Yes, sir, it was clear.
Yes,
Okay, can I continue?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let me actually, from the beginning of the presentation, let me share with you the importance of the fisheries, because the food safety aspect of the fisheries actually started from the fisheries sector, from the introduction of the European Union regulation. The fisheries sector has been a forerunner for implementing food safety. Now, just statistics tells that how the fisheries is impacting our global economy, and especially how it is actually helpful for the Indian economy. Now, coming to the subject, the we might have heard the word food safety, quality assurance, and quality control. Now, the food safety is a relatively recent term. Actually, it originated from 2008, where World Health Organization has identified that food is one of the most important source of contamination and a source of deleterious substances which contributes to the ill health of the people. So, basically, as far as the World Health Organization and from the Codex Alimentarius Commission, the food safety is basically for protecting the people, to keeping the employees and the customers of a firm, and preventing food safety errors. They have actually there are many types of definitions are there were there, but basically they which is which have been accepted by the people are this definition that is coined by food FAO and World Health Organization in Geneva 2019. It is simply says, as you can see, the illness due to the contaminated food, it's perhaps the most widespread health problem in the contemporary world, with an important cause of reduced economic productivity. Now, why this particular thing has become important is the food safety is not what your thing is not your yes is your contribution, but it is actually a right of an individual, a right of every people in this living world. So, FAO and World Health Organization in the World Declaration of Nutrition has clearly told that the access to the nutritional and adequate and safe food is a basic individual right and is unjusticiable, that you cannot fight that fight against it. So that's a right of the people. Now, food safety has been legalized. Now, when this term has been accepted by the world over, in order to give to the clause and the power for this thing, it is the European Union which started giving a regulation to that to the all the food product which has been produced in European Union and all the product which has been exported to European Union. They say a food shall not be placed in the market if it is unsafe, if it is deemed to be unsafe, if it is considered to be injurious to health or unfit for human consumption. So So this is the basically the crust behind the food safety. Now this has been followed by rules in United States FDA, US FDA, Japanese government of Japan, South Africa, and world over. And in the year 2004, the government of India, from till that time, there is one act called PFA, that is Prevention of Food Adulteration Act. The government of India modified, and actually under the Ministry of the Health, they have came out with a new organization on FSSAI, for Food Safety Standards Authority of India, and they have normed come out the food safety laws. Now, when we say about the food safety and when we want to implement the food safety, one should understand why this has become a very important problem, and why it has been relevant in our times. This is basically because of the internationalization of our habits. See, we are not living in the small world which we used to have about 20 years back. The world, the advent of internet and other things, the world is just a small place now. Now, the people, the character, the habits of the food, of the different people throughout the world has been, we made the facilities that they know each other, they used to share this thing. But earlier, the food would we have is regional and will be it will be contained in our place only. But now that is not the case. And because of the this thing, there has been a tremendous mixing of the various types of foods which is available throughout the world. And there has been changes in food habit. There has been changes in the food handling practice. There has been the staple food of the one country has been replaced by the staple food of some other country. And as a result, a type of globalization is happening in the food sector, and all of the things contribute one way or other to the inhabitants of the food safety. Now, when we say of the Food Safety Act, which has been FSSA Act, which has been promulgated in 2008 and which has been again revamped in 2016, the main importance of the food producers, or as we say food managers, we are accountable to our regulators. That you cannot just simply produce the food. You cannot produce the food for just the sake of production of the food. You have to register. The food has to be registered under the FSSAI, and they have to give you a license for production of the food. We are accountable to our regulators. Without our regulators, there are regulators like Export Inspection Council.
Sir, excuse me.
Hello?
Sir, excuse me. So the slide is not changing.
Slide has not changed, but
no.
here it is changing.
Sir, please make it a slideshow. Okay, now it is changing, but that is not in slideshow.
Okay, that is because I have reduced now.
Okay.
Now it is okay.
Sir, the slide is all changing, but that is not in the slideshow mode.
Now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's okay?
Okay, now okay.
Okay. Is it changing now?
Yes, sir. Now it is changing.
Okay, fine. Now we are accountable for regulators, as I told you. Now we have got have a responsibility to protect our own people we serve, and we have to feed a population who is at risk because of their age, any other factors. So these are the things which contributes, which led our government to the food safety. And moreover, I want to emphasize I will give you a clear picture why the food globalization has impacted the food safety. Now, major things which has been impacting the food safety issue is the BSE crisis in 1996, the bovine spongiform encephalopathy, and you might have heard. then a dioxin crisis, a chemical hazard, and foot and mouth disease crisis in 2001. I just want to highlight the case of dioxin. The dioxin, you know what is the dioxin? Dioxin is a naturally occurring hazard, which has been, which will be exposed, which is happening inside the crust of the earth, which will be exposed to the people. For suppose there is a landslides, suppose there is a volcanic eruption, and all those things are natural productions of dioxins are there. Or suppose you have the transformer oils, which has been repeatedly heating and heating and heating. So dioxin can be produced. So dioxin is a carcinogen, which is actually known as POP, or is called as persistent organic pollutant. Why it's called persistent organic pollutant? All other pollutants, by the wealth of the sunrise, with the effect of the sun rays and other things, will have lose its effect over a period of time, and that is we measure it is called half-life. But for POPs, once it is formed, which never get destroyed. So that is why these things are important. What happens in dioxin is very interesting. You might have, if you can Google it in your browser, saying that Belgian dioxin crisis, you'll get a huge story. The story simply says that the Vesuvius, the volcano in Italy, has erupted in say 1998. The ashes has gone up. The ashes was carried away towards Belgium across 3 countries and settled in Belgium. The cattle who grazed on the grasslands of Belgium took this dioxin, and from the milk, the Belgian people is made cheese, and Belgium is very famous for its cheese, and it has been distributed throughout the world. And which is the people, nobody is responsible, but the thing is, a crisis which occurred because of the volcanic eruption in Italy has reached throughout the world. Now, that is once it has been detected in Brazil in the year 1999, there has been a huge inquiry, and Belgium is the first country in the world to try to recall the entire cheese that has been exported, and that is one of the largest food recalls in the world. You can see all these things in your, if you can Google it, and they collected all the whatever possible dioxide, this thing has been which is exported, they collected it and destroyed it. So that is what happened in the vaccine crisis. Similarly, BSE, bovine spongiform encephalopathy, where actually the case of prions have been injected, because till that day we have a belief that the diseases which has been culminated, or which has been formed in animals, will not by any chance will get transmitted to human beings. But with the advent of the BSE, the diseases which has been seen in the cattle, and organism as prions as a protein which carry the diseases to human beings has been found out. And FMD, foot and mouth diseases in 2001. These are the 3 important milestones which made the food a scary substances. Food is actually for our health, but there people throughout the world felt that unless we know the content of the food and the quality of the food and the safety of the food, which is the food is going to be the source of contamination, they will land up in hospitals. So these are one of the main food safety scares which occurred there. And in order to, again adding to that, I will give you one more example. See this pizza. This is a pizza which has been which you all eat from this thing. Now, please understand, a pizza which is commonly available has got ingredients from 17 processes which has been originated in 9 countries from 3 continents. See, the thing which has been manufactured in one country has got the source of this particular thing from internationally. So naturally, this particular pizza or digital product contains the international ingredients, and also the international hazards, which by which they knowingly or unknowingly incorporated. So see how that particular small pizza has been coming into responsible for for development of the food safety hazard. Same is the case with you can see the salad, green salads. Green salads, if you order green salad from a hotel, what you get, all the vegetables are coming from different countries, and those particular countries, even though they are very tasty or this thing, also has got a chance to incorporate all the hazard which has been respective there of the country. So that is what this food safety is important. I'll give you one more example. You see this chicken Q, which has been very popular within metro cities. See this. See the main ingredients of this particular thing, like salted butter, garlic puree, garlic sauce, which has been listed here. And from whichever country, you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 countries has been contributing to this particular this thing. And if one of the country is irresponsible, one of the country doesn't have the food safety control over the place, the particular product will definitely have all the hazards which has been inherent in that particular country, and we are taking the share. So this is, I think I may you understand the importance of the food safety and how we are dependent upon the people throughout the world. Naturally, people get scared. That is why the new term called traceability has come into picture. The people has got a right, and people has got now asking, what are the ingredients which is going into my product? From where that particular ingredient has been sourced from? Who has this thing? Who has processed my product? What are the sanitary conditions which is occurring in that particular factory where the product is being made? What are the sanitary conditions, the health status of the people who are actually involved in the production? So all these things directly or indirectly affect the food safety of the product which you eat. So coming back to India, this is a very the data is which published on last year only. See, in spite of all these things, we know 1.03 crore people die annually in India, of which 7.5% are related because of the water, because of the unsanitation of the water, the conditions of the water. 7.5%, that is 7.8 lakhs approximately of deaths are related to water. And diarrhea causes 4.08 lakh deaths, and malnutrition accounts for 2.7 lakh deaths. So 1 in 10 diseases and all 6% of the deaths globally are caused due to lack of sanitation. Please understand the lack of sanitation. So how important that sanitation to the food processing is clear here. Now, this is the Food Safety Act. This is not going to be important. Now, the important message which I need to convey regarding this particular slide is that, see, when we actually say about the food product, we normally are concerned only about the processing this particular area. We are never concerned about that from where this particular thing is from. Now, because of this particular thing, the entire supply chain has been taken into account for before assessing the safety of the product. So that entire food chain includes the environment in which this particular thing has been done, because this has got impact on this thing. What are the agriculture practices which these people are doing? From there, this particular crops have been made. From the crop, how the processing is made, how are the people involved, and all those things which we came earlier, which has been this thing, and how it has been retailed, how it is packed, how it is transported, and how it finally comes to consumer. So it is not a one-way traffic. It is not the processing alone which determines the safety of the product. It is actually the entire system of value chain, starting from the environment to the processing to marketing, which determines the safety of the product. Now you can see I have just highlighted the normal food supply generally. See how many things are there which is affecting this particular thing, which has been published by the Codex Alimentarius Commission. See, from the irrigation of water, the pesticide fertilizers, manures, animal husbandry practices which gives antibiotics testing. They say all these parameters are one way or other affect this particular thing. And if any of these practice can contribute the food safety errors. Now, that means the person who is the consumer who is actually taking the food are actually at the mercy of these particular chemicals, which has been going without his knowledge to this particular. His only fault is he's purchased this product. Now he doesn't know what are the chemical which goes inside and what are the chemical which goes inside has got a harmful effect. So these are the things which is going to be. We'll come highlight it once again. Now this is regarding food safe security. Now this is only another thing. Okay, now I want to ask you this thing. Why this particular thing is very important now is that because of the growing population by 40%, the population growth will be doubled by 2050. And important thing is that the livestock will become one of the main competition for food, along with human beings, which will consume the grains equivalent to 4 billion people. So the livestock also has got an important point to fill regarding the food safety. Now, these constraints is again because resources are limited, available water and land resources, fuel is going to be a problem. Okay, now coming back to this particular thing. Now, the industry issue which is going to be the main important thing is the health, sustainability, the competitiveness and national international regulation of the food, which altogether will be responsible to the safety of the product. Now, these things which I have already highlighted today, but the main thing which is going to be coming to the food safety is the two terms hazard and risk, in which the hazard is either biological or a chemical or a physical agent which is capable of causing harm, and risk is the probability of the harm combined with the seriousness of the outcome. Suppose you take this thing and you take food actually for well-being of yourself, your health, but ultimately you land up in hospital because you have taken something which you don't want it. Now it becomes a risk. So that is what these two terms which is coming in say called hazard and risk. Now coming to the seafood, food, especially seafood, because even though I am highlighting the seafood, the same thing applies very critically regarding the seafood seafood also, food items also. The main important things are additives, drug residues, fertilizers and growing aids, irradiation, that means the radioactivity, microbiology contamination, naturally occurring food toxicants, food supplements, pesticides and antibiotics, pollutants, processing, packaging and labeling, and adulteration and misbranding. That means authenticity of the food or food. It is known as the mislabeling. You are given a product that you have been sold a product that telling that this product is one type of fish. You cut it as a fillet, telling that it's sea fish, but you are given some other fish. It is actually a mistake which is done in the fish. So this is one thing. And see, this particular card with photograph has come in Punch magazine, which clearly say this is a lollipop and this is a group of ants. Just see, when the lollipop is there, the ants are normally come there and surrounds this particular sweetness. But you see, the ants are avoiding the lollipop. That means it contains something which even the animal doesn't want. So this is one of the thing which has been highlighted throughout. Now this is called RASSF notification, species life, which are the RASSF means Rapid Alert System for Food and Feed, which has been regularly published by European Union from the period 2001 to 2015. So the frauds which has been in the marine organisms, this is less. The equally which is coming from other food items also. So this is these things are coming from the RASSF alert. Now, what are the things we coming to the thing? How do we make the food unsafe? Main thing is because of the personal hygiene. 95% This particular thing is because of the poor personal hygiene. Now, what does personal hygiene does? It transfers the pathogen from your body to the food. So these become, because of the pathogens coming to the food becomes hazardous. They become by contamination. Now, the main hazards, as you all know, I think I need not elaborate it. It's because of chemicals. We call it chemical hazard. It can be because of biological or microorganisms called biological hazard, and very rarely physical hazard because of the putting of foreign particles and other things. Now, when you clear this food poisoning, how does a personal hygiene impact? Now you see, these are the common things which is we listed in India from 1980s onwards. But at that time we never used to take notice of these things. We are just doing it for the sake of doing things. See, personal hygiene, which is can contribute to the food safety, includes clean hands and clothing, no jewelry, tie hair cover, short fingernails, unnecessary contact with the food. All cuts and things should be covered with the waterproof dressing. Do not eat food and other supplement the food processing this thing. When you are ill, you are not supposed to process the food. Don't touch the face and hair. Do not cough or sneeze for the food. Do not taste the food with your fingers or double dip, or wear gloves, change fragrance. See, all these things, the personal hygiene. Now you see, when the period of Corona, we are following it. We are following because this has been all the things which has been in place from the year 1980s, but we never bothered. Now, because the nature, because of the through Corona, we have been forced to take all these things. Okay, importance is the most important thing. The hands, you process the thing, you process the food, you process the way in which you handle the food. The important organ in the body which is coming into contact with the food is the hand. So washing hands is the primary important thing. And World Health Organization has really come out with certain things which is a thing which is can be downloaded freely from World Health Organization, how to wash your hands. See, first you have to water, rub the hands to make the lather, scrub the things together, dry the paper towels, and you please see your apron. Apron is the things, the white coat which you do. It is not a towel. It is has to be protecting the contamination from your body to the food you process. It is not the apron is not for protecting your body from the food waste. No, it is protecting the food from the contamination from your body. And see that your apron is not a towel. Now see, when you wash hand, all these things are there. These things are very essential and so simple, but we never follow it. So now people are, I think again because of the this thing, people are of somewhere it is going to come once again. Now this is the other things which are some so in order to make it more interesting. These are the things which just came out from the Punch magazine, which is very critical about the hygiene and this thing. They say, suppose people say don't contaminate the food, you always use gloves before handling the food, but wearing the gloves and putting this in the air, this is the same effect. So once you have any organization in any tendency in putting your hand in unnecessary parts, so you take the gloves again, wash your hands again, put a new knife, put the new gloves, only then you start processing. Now see, this is again another condition of personal hygiene, contamination. See, the lady who is working here has taken a raw chicken. Raw chicken means it is harboring lot of bacteria and microorganisms, which is the raw condition. And without washing the hand, she is taking a cooked product and eating it. Now what is happening because cooked product is actually subject to heat treatment. It doesn't have any type of pathogens or any type of bacteria. When you touch the raw product, the hand is getting contaminated with all sorts of bacteria, including pathogens. And when you eat, they take the hand without cleaning and touches this particular product. This particular thing being sterile doesn't have any resistance to this bacteria. So this bacteria will grow very fast and as a result, she will be feeling sick. So that is how we always say, when you actually touch a raw product, wash your hands very clearly before handling the product. Same thing with the personal hygiene is another thing. A person, a cook which is going to toilet without sanitizing the hand, is come back, he take the raw product, he take the making into this particular thing. The person who is actually eating now goes back to the toilet. See how this particular thing is affected. Now, this is one of the thing which is we say you want to make the food unsafe. The one thing is the cross-contamination. Now, cross-contamination, I told you, this is another pictures. I know I don't want to highlight all these things. See the tip of a needle in a pin, how much bacteria it is accommodating. See, this is I just want to see, make the people understand how many bacteria are there in a small pinpoint. Now, this is how the bacteria grows. All that thing. If you are not leaving it uncontrolled, a mere 3 hours or 6 hours will make you bucket full of bacteria from a small single bacteria, which is the food items. See, cross-contamination. Now, your role, don't transfer from pathogens from one food to another. As a food processing agent, as a person who is handling the food, don't transfer from the one food to other food and from one surface to another surface. That means the food is important, different types of foods are important, and the place in which you process the food are also important. Okay. Now see, this is a simple way in which how a ready-to-eat product is stored above the raw product. The cross-contamination can occur if a raw product which is simply be eaten without cooking is stored below a ready-to-eat product. What happens means from the raw product, it will drip into this cooked product, and the same thing will happen because the cooked product will not have any type of pathogens. It doesn't have any type of competition. This bacteria which is coming inside will have a free hand and will grow nicely and will get contaminated. Here you see same thing which is highlighted. A person who is cutting a salad using a knife, it's a raw product which has we consume to raw, and again he is trying to process the ham, which is a cooked product. So when he touches this particular thing to this particular food, actually he is transferring this contamination to this product. So he is actually unknowingly transmitting that disease and hazard to the person consumed. Time temperature abuse. Important thing, what is important for our this thing is the temperature abuse. You all know that letting the food stay so long in a temperature, it is not good for the bacterial growth. So you can see a danger zone is above 5 degrees centigrade to 60 degrees centigrade. Either the food has to be stored here or it has to be below 5 degrees centigrade. Not in this particular thing, because this is the area between 5 to 60 degrees centigrade. It is actually the most dangerous zone, and the people tend to store in our especially in the tropical condition, we tend to store the particular thing here only. Now avoid eating after 2 hours of storage in this particular thing, because 2 hours is the maximum threshold time in which the bacteria can grow to a unacceptable level. Now these are the examples which has been seen in our local in Kerala. We have going around and see how the hygienic things are there practiced in different types of restaurants and other things. We got a record of this particular. We are not telling you the names. See how the unhygienic the product has been stored, how the things have been stored. See, upama, which is in a hostel, which is a cooked form and which is been exposed, and it is stored below the meat. So the whatever contamination will come inside will be directly consumed the people. Pure sanitation and hygiene. And so what you're telling is how the thing has to be changed. Same thing like you wash your hand, you have to pre-clean, then you main clean, rinse, disinfect, final rinse and dry. These are the thing where whatever all sorts of instruments, all sort of thing which has been used for the processing of the food has to be followed. This thing. Don't eat, don't drink, don't smoke, don't chew, or don't take tobacco or e-cigarettes when you handle the food product. Yes. Cleaning products out of bounds. If you have to be used, it to be cleaned, which will be stored separately, labeled separately, and people who knows it should be in a different color, they should not be coming into contact with the food. Garbage has to be stored separately. You should not stored like this. Yes, pest control. Regular thing has to be thing. These are the very simple things, but if you don't do this, this is going to be a source of contamination. See, poor pest control. When you actually does the pest control, we never know. See the flies here. See one spider inside this bread. See one frog which is seen in this. It is coming in the famous mall which is in Cochin. So it's an important thing. Even the imported country can see a frog inside these lentils. So this is the pest control. It is not in the. Now coming, what we are telling to discuss here is the type of biological hazards. Now equally hazardous are the chemicals. The chemical hazards, which are very rampant in our country, we should understand that chemicals are important. But chemicals is necessary. Chemicals are necessary for processing of the food item. But you should know that there's a chemical usage protocol is there. Chemicals are not hazardous if properly used. The potential risk of consumers, which is when they use the chemical which are not controlled. And presence of chemical may not always represent a hazard. Now, the chemical, if you are using it actually in this thing, will become the hazard. And the categories of chemical hazards can be classified into three. That is naturally occurring chemicals, intentionally added chemicals, and unintentionally or intentionally added chemicals. So these are the three places in which the chemicals are. They will just rush through these particular aspects. Number one, naturally occurring chemicals are allergens, mycotoxins, scombrotoxins, which are all things I'll tell you all these things. Now, main thing, unintentionally added chemicals are agricultural pesticides, fungicides, fertilizers, antibiotic, metals, and other things. Intentionally added chemicals are food additives. Food additives constitute one of the most important food hazard now. Now, coming to the naturally occurring things, mycotoxins, aflatoxin A, aflatoxin B, and for the milk, aflatoxin M. If you want to have anything, which we can have a discussion. Otherwise, it's only a description for this particular thing. Ochratoxin is a type of mycotoxin, which has been coming to the picture lately. Now, it is again coming from Aspergillus and Penicillium, and they are having toxins. This toxin does not kill the people, but it affects the digestive system, and it was actually forms nuisance value for this particular thing. Histamine. Histamine is one of the things you might have seen over the scombroid fishes. That means mackerel, seerfish, mahi-mahi, or even some sort of sardines and this thing, where there's a lot of natural histidine is there as an amino acid. They, because if the fish is not stored correctly, the bacterial population can go up, and they will convert this histidine to histamine, and it will come out with allergy. So this is one of the histidine toxin. Then coming to biotoxins. Biotoxins are things, there are many toxins which is coming to the fish, and this thing, one is a paralytic shellfish toxin, tetrodotoxin, pufferfish toxin, and then ciguatera from the fish. Then again paralytic shellfish toxin, which is actually considered. This happened in Belgium about 20 years back. About 300 people has died by the infection of this particular thing. Now, paralytic shellfish toxin, which we are regularly having because we never consider diarrhea as a disease. So we have a habit of living with diarrhea, and that is why this, especially from Kalimeka, which these particular things are there. So direct shellfish toxins. Now coming to unintentionally, incidentally added chemicals. And one more thing I want to tell you here is there are certain other chemical which is being interest you. It can be even the cyanides, water soluble cyanide, which is in tapioca, which is actually cyanide. If you don't do it clearly, this thing which can even kill the animal. So you might have seen the goats and other thing, you eating the leaf of the tapioca plant dies. Now tapioca itself has got a dark color, that particular thing which is water soluble by God's grace. We wash it and eat, but that is another thing. Then there are certain things called enzyme inhibitors, especially in maida and especially in soybeans. So we have to fry it. It's the protein type of proteins which has to, we have to deactivate that protein only, then we have to use it for cooking. So please see that when you go for a soybean peel, this thing, you can see the label that the enzyme inhibition is deactivated. You can see it has been otherwise what happens is once you eat it, the stomach enzyme will not be able to digest it. Now coming to unintentionally or chemical added chemicals, these are the main things like pesticides, antibiotics and growth hormones, heavy metals and other things. So these are the important things which is if unnecessarily we are using pesticides which to our without control, it can create cancer, it can create mutation, it can create birth defects, it can create tumor growth, liver damage, reproductive disorders, nerve damage, allergy. All these things have been done. Heavy metals, same thing. It comes to muscles, headaches, short-term memory loss, gastrointestinal upsets. And heavy metals are coming actually natural from the cadmium is thing which is coming from the rock salt. And other things, mercury and other things, okay, for our human intervention only. So these are the things which is going to be affecting. Then these other animal drugs which has been used for the prevention of diseases will we have excess of that particular drug, and if it is not controlled, it will be reflecting on us. It will be carried to the this thing, and we will develop the drug resistance. Now this is the thing. See, oxytetracycline, tetracycline, trimethoprim oxalic acids are all present in this thing. Okay. Okay. Now coming to the intentionally added chemical, which is one of the most dangerous thing which we what we say is that it is not it is permitted. Intentionally added chemicals are preservatives, and we actually tell us that this is a GRAS chemical, that is generally regarded as safe, GRAS. Now we are given one number for that. Even for water, there is a number called again called additives called EN or IN number is given. So if that particular thing is actually permitted. Now the problem is only the legal authorities know that it is permitted. What are the limit they tend to ignore. So it becomes a hazard. So most important things which I want to discuss is the colors. See, all additives are poisons, and nothing is thought is poison. What is the dose to determine whether it's harmful effect or not. Most important thing which is giving chicken tikka masala, where the artificial coloring like E102E, I told you that's the number which is given by the this thing. Illegal dye for Sudan dye, which is seen in the chili powder, which has been caught from Kerala. Yes, so this is a cancer drug, which is a cancer-causing agent, which is normally used in the floor polish to make the chili powder more red in color. The people are using this particular thing into the chili powder. So regarding the three important things in the food additives are that the food additives are used only, are permitted to use only if they present no hazard to the health. A reasonable need for the additives can have to be demonstrated, and they should not mislead the consumer. Suppose you use that particular additive, you should say that my product contains this particular thing. And these are whether you like it or not, any food item which is been purchased from the shelf contains these particular classes of additives. See, MSG, everybody know, monosodium glutamate or Ajinomoto. There has been a source of debate here whether it is safe or not, which is going to be a problem. Preservatives, which is used as chili saltpeter or gunpowder, have been used for the preserving the fish. Now, preservatives is sorbic acid, benzoic acid, sulfur dioxide, and benzoic acid is coming into the picture where the people are used unnecessary thing. This benzoic acid has been permitted use in squashes, where there's a shelf life has to be this thing. Whereas now people are using in fish and meat to prevent the bacterial growth. So potassium sodium nitrate, propionic acid. Now, what are the things which will create this thing is, main thing is it cause allergy, because now the people are allergic in nature for many things. So these are the things which is creating the allergy. And what are the allergy reaction? Allergy reactions are always created because we're eating those type of food in large quantities. And grade 8 type of food which is have been having this particular thing called milk, egg, peanut, tree nut, fish, shellfish, soybean, wheat, and the same seeds are the 8 things which is creating the shellfish. These are the 8 classes of food which is creating the 90% of the allergies, and remaining are only 10% because we are not eating this much. All these things we are eating to the maximum. So this is a main thing which has to be dealt with. Now, another thing is we told about allergies. The second important thing is we'll develop food intolerance if you eat these additives without control. A control which is now we have heard of the lactose intolerance. We have heard about the people who is not tolerant in digesting the milk. People are certain people are not. So all these things are because there is in the colors. The people who are eating the gem, that gem, from Cadbury's. There people are having that intolerance for that particular color. All these things are because of the excessive use of this thing without having a control of the limit. Now, most important thing is undocumented thing is the hyperactivity. The studies by World Health Organization and things say that unnecessary eating of these particular additives in large quantities, you may make your child hyperactive. So it has not been so far classified as a disease. Now, I think by another 5 years, the hyperactivity is classified as a disease. It's a psychiatric disorder and mainly seen in the children. The people say that my children is very smart, very hyperactive, but it may. I am telling all the may because not much work has not going inside. Has gone inside. They may also because of the presence of the food additive. So be careful with that. So these are the things which I want you to discuss with you regarding the food safety aspects. I'm only gone through the gist of the main problem, that is the tip of the iceberg. Now, if you want to have a detailed discussion, I am free to open. You can communicate with me. I will answer your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your very explanatory and thoughtful presentation. Now it is time for the interactive session, and I request the participants to come forward and put your queries in the chat box facility provided. Sir, we have a question on the chat box. I'll read it out.
Okay.
Sir, what is the difference between food safety and food security?
Hello, food safety and?
Food security.
Food security and food safety. Food security is rather political. Food security means every people who is living in the earth should have a minimum share of food for his living. That's called food security. You are having enough food for taking the your life forward. But a food safety is, it is the safety aspect of the food what you consume. In other words, when you actually say that you are eating the food for your health, and the same food will lead you to randomly in hospital, means that's a prognosis, no? So that is not a virodhabasan എന്ന് പറയുന്ന പോലെ. It is actually not desirable. So that is actually the difference between food security and food safety. But food security is actually a political issue, whereas food safety is a scientific issue. Right?
Okay, thank you, sir. Can I read the next question?
Yeah, please. No, yes.
How can common people identify adulteration in fish?
Yes, that's a my nice question is that they should have a basic education. Number one, there are certain techniques which are available now. And for example, our CIFT has come out with, when the formaldehyde issue has been rampant, we have got a rapid test kit like pH paper, which is available in the market. You take that paper and put it this particular thing in the fish, immediately color will change, and you will understand that this particular thing contains contaminant. Like that, the test kits are slowly coming in. Now there are certain things which are available. Number one, labeling. You should not buy an unlabeled fish. You should buy only from those people who are selling the labeled fish. In the label, it is clearly mentioned when it is caught. What as per FSSAI regulation, the labeling requirement is there for every food product. When it is caught, all the details will be there. By seeing that, you will be having an idea that the fish is safe or not. And for specific hazards like formaldehyde, other chemicals, there are specific tests out. And actually, the problem with those chemicals are, by simply seeing the fish, you will not be able to identify. It has to be done, some chemical tests are there. So that is why agents like FSSAI are there to see that these particular things are not happening. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I will read next question. What are some practices we can adopt to ensure food security?
Food security. Food security, I am not an expert. I am very sorry. Food safety means we are discussing the main thing, no? Food security, I don't have much contribution. I told you it is a type of political, and a decision has to be done by the decision makers. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I will read next question. Sir, today frozen meat is highly marketed. What health hazards are these making? How is this type of meat reliable compared to fresh animals?
Pardon?
Okay, sir, I will repeat. Sir, today frozen meat is highly marketed. What health hazards are these making? How is this type of meat reliable compared to fresh animals?
Right. Now, thing is, when these particular fresh animals are concerned, actually, there is no hazards are there unless and until it is being fed. For example, you want to eat a chicken. You take a chicken from your known herd of the chicken, this thing. It contains certain hazards which goes inside the meat through the food which is being exposed. For example, suppose it giving you some chicken feed which contain a growth hormone. That growth hormone will be present inside the taste. So that is the hazard is not actually, cannot be told that it is a fresh It has been processed. But of course, by if you are not following good processing practices, there are, for example, suppose a dead thing, a dead animal will get spoiled within 3 hours. So otherwise the temperature has to be reduced. The processing, the person who is actually doing the processing should see that the process is done with the temperature, low temperature. Second one, he should be hygienic. I told you all those things which is having the personal hygiene. From the personal hygiene point of view, this particular thing can go inside through to the food item. It can take this particular thing. Whereas the same hazard it can be gone through, which is when the particular organism has been rare or not. So it cannot be say that cannot totally. That is why traceability is coming into the picture. You have seen traceability. Suppose you might have seen if you're going to any there is a one thing called barcode. Are you aware of that particular thing called barcoding? And if you scan the barcode, you can see, you will understand if its traceability is implemented, it will tell you from where that particular organism has been caught, from where it has been processed, who is the person who has been processed, what are the parameters, the temperature of this, all these things are being recorded here. But we never bother about that thing. That is why we always say, always read the labels before purchasing the fish, and don't buy an unlabeled type of fish. That's
Sir,
why
that was
people are.
not actually my question. What I meant was all these processed meat which comes in boxes, sir, like Licious, fresh to home and all. So even if they have barcodes, how do we rely on that information, sir?
No, that is barcoding thing is a legal issue that
Yes,
you
sir.
don't forget about. But you have to have an ability to read that barcode. Suppose the barcode is printed there and you don't have a facility or don't know how to read it, what's the use?
Yeah.
The traceability is the thing, because you are cannot going to take the fish which you are not going to know. Suppose I say it's a good fish. The natural question is, where did you catch it? All those things the processor will not know. But in the traceability, if it is implemented, which is by legally it is so, they should have the document with them. But how will we access this particular thing? By scanning the barcode. The barcode should have this particular thing, but they should be complied with that particular thing. They're simply putting the barcode only with the price and everything, you won't get any data. But for example, whatever we are concerned, we are forcing the exporters and the thing which has been done by registered to FSSI, this particular coding, and the code will have all those information. So you can scan and get the thing. There's no other way. There's no shortcut. You will not be able to go to the processing plant and see how he is processing the thing. Sorry. You will not be able to see how the fish is being. Sorry. You will not be able to see how the fish is being caught, how the fish is being preserved, because every aspect of the goes into the quality of the fish. So all these things will be recorded in a traceability software. So that's the thing which is now. And one more thing for your information, telling which has not been come to practice, the CIFT is coming out with a called quality dots. Quality dot means the packed fish contain a dot, and it has got a color scale. The moment it is default, the good color will be green. The moment it gets spoiled, the color will change slowly into red. So there's a scale given. So it's a 1 day old, 2 day old, 5 day old, 16 day old. So all these things will be displayed. So that is coming to the market only, but it is not marketed so far. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next question. Can you please brief some innovations used to ensure food safety?
Innovation, food safety, there's no shortcut. Okay. Now the thing is, you should know what you are eating. So what you are eating means you should know where it is being processed. So you should make it a habit to buy the food which is known to you. Or in other words, wherever the traceability is implemented and very clearly given, only from those people you should buy the fish or buy the food items. Second thing is, there are certain gadgets like rapid test kits available in the market. But for specific thing, for the quality, for formaldehyde it is available, for ammonia it is available, for certain other histamine it is available. So if you feel that that particular thing is harmful to you, you buy that particular test kit, use it, and only then you buy. Because most of the hazards, what you're telling and what you're going to deal with, you cannot see, you cannot even feel, and the effect is not immediate. Effect will be cumulative after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So these are the things which you should have to have. So this should not start only from the shop. You should start from it. That's why I told you in the first one of the initial slides I told you, it is not around the processing. It should start from the environment and all the food chain together. Only then you will be having to implement food safety. And is it happening now? Yes, it is happening. In India, why we are not happening? Because we are not demanding for it. We just have got a habit of this particular thing. For example, two different shops are there. In Delhi, we conducted an experiment in which one shop we gave pakka sample with all traceability. Now, because of traceability, it is about 3 rupees more. And next shop, the same fish without any traceability, whatever. But the people chose to buy only that thing without traceability first. Only then when that particular thing has changed, they came and go this. But suppose the person insists that I want only traceable fish, will the people go and buy this particular thing? Will you be able to sell that thing? You yourself, we ourselves are responsible for that. So that habit has to be changed. Only then, we cannot induce all these things like this by putting a switch or putting it on. It has to be forced to this particular thing. You should not take the food which you don't know. That is the message I wanted to tell you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question. How cold should refrigerator be to minimize the risk of food poisoning?
Minimum, I told you, refrigerator has got 2 compartments. One is the refrigerator side, which is having a temperature of 0 to 5 degrees centigrade, where you keep the vegetables and other things. And for the meat product, you have a freezer, which goes up to minus 20 degrees centigrade. So this particular thing, the 20 degrees centigrade has to be 20 degrees centigrade. So this particular thing has to be the fish which has been or meat which has been processed for the day has to be kept in freezer, not in the chiller. Where the chiller you have to freeze only the vegetables and other products. And the cold air has got a tendency to come down. It is better to have the freezer down than the chiller position. Yes, because there will have more freezing temperature. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question. Foods like shawarma are partially cooked. Is this danger to us?
Yes, naturally. Unless, can you just trace it? How that particular shawarma has been made? How the meat, you have heard of that shawarma about 5 years back, one person from Bangalore has died. You think why? It is because of simple, because we had got a chance of doing this root cause analysis for that particular incident. And what we found out that the shawarma, when it came because of the lack of hygiene, it contained staphylococcus. Staphylococcus is simple bacteria which is seen on the hair, nose, ear, this on eyebrows, everything. The person who is actually not aware of this sanitary thing simply touched this particular thing. So okay, now once the staphylococcus is present, we eat it there, no problem. But what that guy has done is he has taken the staphylococcus purchased from one guy and took it to Bangalore. So it gave ample time for that particular staphylococcus to grow and produce toxin. When that number of bacteria goes to about a particular level like 20 lakhs or 30 lakhs, it produces a toxin. The toxin is lethal. The toxin is lethal. So that cannot be destroyed by heat, that cannot be destroyed by acid or anything. So that person succumbed to his injury. So unless and until you are sure that the source is neat, the person handling is qualified, he knows the basic food handling techniques, you should not take the risk of buying from there. Okay, so that is but here we are not, even though we have all knows it, people will go and buy at their whims and fancies. Okay.
Okay, sir. Next question. What are the opportunities in the field of food industry for grooming students under the disciplines of allied subjects like biotechnology, microbiology, and biochemistry?
See, the food science is a subject which is comprises of all these things what you told. Now there is one thing called food. This one, there's a food safety inspector's examination every year, which has got a lot of vacancies coming there. You please write that exam, and you will be directly taken by the FSSI to as food inspectors. So you can got the legal authority to go over this place, see all those things, and you can do whatever. If you feel that it is there, you can correct them, you can punish them. All these things can be done. So this is a growing field. It has got a lot of this thing. Is a lot of things out there.
Thank you, sir. I think almost all the queries were cleared by our speaker. Now it's time to wind up our session. I invite Ms. Phoebe K. John, Assistant Professor, Department of Biotechnology, to deliver the water. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Helen. It's my great privilege to give a vote of thanks on this occasion of our prestigious international webinar series, Biotechnology, the Present and Future Scenario. I, on behalf of the Biotechnology Department, would like to extend our deep appreciation and hearty gratitude to our resource person, Dr. K. ASHOK Kumar, for his talk on food safety, which was very informative and interesting. Hope all of you had a good experience with his session. The webinar provided inclusive insight into the importance of food safety, major food safety issues in fish and fisheries products, and also some preventive measures to improve food safety. The talk was valuable and indeed an inspiration for all of us. Thank you once again, sir, for the well-structured and knowledgeable presentation. I take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to our principal, Dr. A. Suresh, for the encouragement and strong support rendered in the successful conduct of the webinar. I would like to thank IQAC coordinator, Dr. Preeti Nair, for her wholehearted support to organize this event. I would also express my gratitude to our management for the constant support. Dr. Valsa AK, who has always been there for us in every endeavor of us. I extend my sincere thanks to you too, ma'am. Next, I would like to thank my colleagues and staff members who had worked hard for conducting this webinar. I'm very happy to thank the students and other faculty members who actively participated in the webinar and made it a great success. Once again, thank you all for making this webinar a memorable one.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear participants, our today's technical session is over. We're again reminding you to fill the feedback form before leaving. The link for the feedback form is available in the chat box. Once again, I thank everyone for being here. Let's disperse for now. Thank you all and have a nice day ahead.